With profound, humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 1 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite suprememastertv.com/schedule.
저희 방송은 다양한 언어를 제공합니다. 다음을 참고하세요. suprememastertv.com/schedule.
The gentle-minded, the divine desire of blameless lovingness, thence grew apace those mortal things, formerly long accustomed to be immortal, and the formerly pure and sheer. Please continue watching for the poetic wisdom of the ancient Greek philosopher Empedocles, vegetarian.
Seeing that and realizing, all animals, all they want to do is just live out their lives in a way that's fulfilling and humane. That to me is what helped ask a question like, well, why are we eating these animals if they are so similar to us? Jonah Goldman, vegan.
The island of Crete is dotted with archaeological sites and beautiful natural landscapes, and is also known as the birthplace of the Greek god Zeus. If you come to visit, greet the friendly locals with Hieropoli, which means pleased to meet you in Greek. I am Konstantinos. The spiritual people of the island of Crete support you in following the noble teachings of the ancient masters. May all people soon come to realize that loving compassion towards all beings is the key to lasting peace and happiness on earth. Welcome to The Transmigration of Souls from On Nature by Empedocles, Part 2 of 2 on Words of Wisdom. Empedocles was born in 494 BC in the ancient Greek city of Akragas, situated in Sicily. He is considered one of the most important early Greek philosophers, along with Pythagoras and Heraclitus. Greatly influenced by the teachings of Pythagoras and Orpheus, he believed in the transmigration of souls and the equality of all beings. With eternal souls endlessly being born into new bodies, he was of the view that eating animal people flesh amounted to cannibalism, and compared this to parents unknowingly killing their children and children unknowingly killing their parents. Thus, Empedocles was a strict vegetarian who advocated for the right to life for all of Earth's inhabitants. He is also credited with the cosmogenic theory of the four classical elements, in which all matter is derived from fire, air, water, and earth. This theory was to dominate the worldview of ancient Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East right up to the 17th century. It is also considered one of the earliest theories of particle physics. This was encompassed by the governing forces of love and strife, whereby love would unite and strife would divide all on earth. As a brilliant orator and poet with a deep knowledge of spirituality and the natural sciences, Empedocles' teachings are full of wisdom and insight. Today, we are pleased to present selections from his poetic works on nature, which were translated into English by William Ellery Leonard in the book The Fragments of Empedocles. Love and Hate in the Organic World. The worldwide battle of the eternal two, well in the mass of human limbs is shown. while into one do they through love unite, and mortal members take the body's form, and life does flower at the prime, and whiles, again dissevered by the hates perverse, they wander far and wide and up and down the surf-swept beaches and dreary shores of life. So too with thicket, tree, and gleaming fish, housed in the crystal walls of waters wide, and so with beasts that couch on mountain slopes, and waterfowls that skim the long blue sea. From the elements is all we see. But come and to my words foresaid look well, if their wide witness anywhere forgot all that behooves the elemental forms, behold the sun, the warm, the bright diffused. Behold the eternal stars forever steeped in liquid heat and glowing radiance see. Also the rain, obscure and cold and dark, and how from earth streams forth the green and firm. And all through wrath are split to shapes diverse, and each through love draws near and yearns for each. For from these elements has budded all that was or is or evermore shall be, and trees and men and women, beasts and birds, and fishes nourished in deep waters, aye, the long-lived gods in honors excellent. For these are all, and as they course along, through one another they take new faces all, by varied mingling and enduring change. An analogy. And even as artists, men who know their craft, through wits of ingenuity, paint with streak and hue bright temple tablets, and will seize in hand the oozy colors dappled and red and gold, mixing harmonious, now more, now less, from which they fashion forms innumerable, and like to all things peopling a fresh world, with trees and men and women, beasts and birds, and fishes nourished in deep waters, aye, and long-lived gods in honors excellent. Just so, and let no guile deceive thy heart. Even so the spring of mortal things leastwise, of all the host born visible to man. O guard this knowledge well, for thou hast heard in this my song the goddess and her tale. The law of the elements. In turn they conquer as the cycles roll, and wane the one to other still and wax, the one to other in turn by olden fate. For these are all, and as they course along, through one another they become both man, and multitudinous tribes of hairy beasts, while in fair order through love united all, while torn asunder by the hate of strife, till they, when grown into the one and all, once more, go under and succumb. And insofar as is the one still accustomed to grow from the many, and the many again spring from primeval scatterings of the one, so far have they a birth and mortal date. And insofar as this long interchange ends not, so far forever established gods, around the circle of the world they move. The sphere. Their views won not the swift limbs of the sun, nor there the strength of earth nor sea, but in the strong recess of harmony, established firm abides the rounded sphere, exultant in surrounding solitude. Nor faction nor fight unseemingly in its limbs. The sphere on every side, the boundless same, exultant in surrounding solitude. For from its back there swing no branching arms. It has no feet nor knees alert nor form of life-producing member on all sides. A sphere it was, and like unto itself. Yet after mighty strife had waxen great, within the members of the sphere and rose to her own honors as the times arrived, which unto each in turn to strive to love, should come by amplest oath and old decree, for one by one did quake the limbs of God. The conquest of love. But hurrying back, I now will make return to paths of festive song laid down before, draining each flowing thought from flowing thought. When down the vortex to the last abyss had foundered hate and lovingness had reached, the whirling center of the mass, behold, around her into oneness gathered all. Yet not as sudden, but only as willingly, each from its several regions joined with each, and from their mingling hence are poured abroad the multitudinous tribes of mortal things. Yet much unmixed among the mixed remained, and much as hate still held in scales aloft. For not all blameless did hate yield and stand out afar on the circle's utmost bounds, but partway yet within he stayed, partway was he already from the members gone, and ever the more skulked away and fled, then ever the more and nearer inward pressed. The gentle-minded, the divine desire of blameless lovingness. Hence grew swiftly those mortal things formerly long accustomed to be immortal, and the formerly pure and sheer were mixed, exchanging highways of new life. And from their mingling hence are poured abroad the multitudinous tribes of mortal things, knit in all forms and wonderful to see.
Vegan side effect: less weight to gain.
Joyful viewers, it was a pleasure to have your company for today's Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is SM Celestial Clothes, Fashion of the Golden Age, Part 5 of a multi-part series. May the light of the Providence shine on you always.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.